What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Podcasting with Colossal. I'm your host, Ariel Marie, aka Baby Girl, and here's your host and the CEO of Colossal, Garrett Hildebrand. Say hi.
Yo, what up, everybody? This your boy Garrett, the CEO of Colossal Stepping Entertainment, and also your host here at Podcasting with Colossal. We're gonna try to do some podcasting tonight. So y'all pray for us.
Can't do this.
Y'all pray for us. But man, we want to welcome my brother from another mother. Welcome him back to the show.
Bless you.
Jarrell David's in the building.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege. I count it all a joy to be here again once more.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, man, we want to give a couple of shout outs before we get started tonight. We want to give a shout out to Broadview Park District, who's a great supporter. We want to give out a great shout out to the village of Broadview.
Yeah.
So Mayor Katrina Thompson, want to give a great shout out to her and her support. Man, like I said, man, you just don't know the support that comes from that direction, and we're grateful for their support. Creative by Art, by the drum, and also the Drummond brothers and Danny Drummond, who's our new sponsor. From the VFW Post 2801 in Villa Park, Illinois.
Wow.
Man, so we're grateful for all of those who support us and just allow us to have just to have an opportunity to pretty much address certain topics in the community. And also we want to really give a big shout out to Intellectual Radio, because without Intellectual Radio we wouldn't be here. And them giving us an opportunity to be here, and we want to thank you to our tech Earl, man. Earl Winfrey's in the building. We missed him on last week, but Wanda B did a great job. She took care of us. She was trying to figure out how to spell our name, but that's all good.
She always asks how to spell her name. She's like, how y'all spell it again?
No, but it's all good, man. But again, Wanda did a great job, in Earl's place. But like we want to get right down to it again. Going through the storm, coping with mental illness without losing yourself. So man, we want to go ahead and get to it, because we don't want to keep my brother all night, because I know he's ready to go to sleep right about now.
It's been a long one. It's been a long one.
So Ariel Marie, is in your hands.
Well, I'll say welcome back again, Jarrell. It's an honor to have you again.
Bless you. It's an honor to be here.
But like I said, going through the storm of how to cope with mental illness while not losing yourself. And what do you feel like that means to you?
Being able to love yourself when you feel as though nobody else loves you.
Exactly. Because only you can help you through the storm that you go through, because everybody knows that the mind is the biggest trap of all.
Yeah.
And that, but if you have your faith, God will always be there to guide you through.
This is true.
And back in the day, the mental illness didn't have a title at all.
That's true. So I'm just so glad that we are talking about this, because in our community, we kind of neglect mental health, and so coping with your mental illness doesn't necessarily mean you just gonna be going down in the dumps, just sulking in your mental illness.
Right.
Coping means, how am I going to get through this day by day? For me, coping would be a synonym for persevering. And one thing that our community is great at is persevering in times where we don't know what to do. So I think coping with mental illness is one of those skills that you need to succeed in life, because one day you're gonna burn out.
Right.
I know, because I was burnt out before I graduated 8th grade. I just was like, I don't know what to do. I did my job. I'm ready to sit down. So you're going to get burnt out. You're going to go through those seasons of depression. I know, because I've been through that too. You're going to go through the season of loneliness. I've been through that too. So anything that we're talking about here, I've been through the storm and rain, but I made it because I was able to have coping mechanisms set in place that allowed me to persevere.
Exactly, because even me, I still deal with my own battle of mental health, and I have some trauma because, as we lost the matriarch of our family 2 months ago, and our family is still going through that storm of how to deal with the trauma of that, because it's a big loss, and we're trying to persevered through how to move on without her, because that was the motivation behind our family. And and now my job is going through a lot of stuff, like with management and stuff, that and I'm feeling like I'm a little burnt out, because like now I'm like I have to step up more. I'm like, okay, how do I balance life and work and being a mother at the
All
same
at the same
time
time.
without like crashing?
Yeah.
And luckily, it's also best to have a support system behind you when you're going through those moments, like family, friends, church family, because without the support system backing you, you don't have anything.
That's true. So for me, it was my support system. Linda Richardson, my great grandmother. For those who don't know, I shout her out
Yes,
all the
your
time.
biggest
That's
cheerleader.
my, her and my mother. I'm gonna be totally transparent for a minute, transparent moment on my end. I took my first mental health day since they signed it into law this year. It's been in law for about 3 years now, and I took my first mental health day since they signed it into law for students, and we have 5 of them. And my grandmother told me, Jarrell, with the amount of work that you do in school, the amount of work you do out of your school, and then you actually have your own job, you have to take a break sometimes to truly
Right.
just refill yourself. So it was that system of, okay, I get what you're going through. I'm going to grant you this grace, because we all need grace at some point in our life. So I'm going to grant you this grace, and I'm going to let you see some favor and take this day to recharge. I think one thing that I know from talking to some people, shout out to Mayor Katrina Thompson. She was the first person I got into a fight back in the day, y'all. And so, in order to keep my job, Mayor Thompson made me go talk to somebody. And it was one of the best things I could ever do, because not only was I talking to somebody, I was actually finding the keys to unlock the generational trauma. And once I found the keys to unlock the generational trauma, I found the tools to heal and to continue to persevere through the generational trauma. So I understand, you guys losing your matriarch. I lost my uncle. I want to say this is the 9th year now. And our family still copes with the death of my uncle on my father's side. This grieving isn't just something you do over the 1 or 2 months and you're done.
Exactly.
Grieving is something that you're gonna do for the rest of your life, especially if you lost the woman that you guys lost. Because I knew her personally, my family knew her personally. We know you guys personally, and I knew how much she meant to not only your patriarch, but I knew how much your matriarch meant to the others in your family, to your younger siblings, and to see them cope with it.
It's been a battle, I
Yeah.
swear. Like, it's like, because everybody is in our household is dealing with our grief differently. My dad's dealing with his grief differently. I'm dealing with it differently. My sister's dealing with it differently. My brother is, because everybody has their own way of coping from it. Like, some people, like me, it's like I'm trying to be strong for him, so I can't really break. But there's the times I do break down and cry in the middle of the night when I'm missing her. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I do, so I have flashbacks of that day when she did go into cardiac arrest, and I still, and I'm like, and I feel like, people say like grief is only for a moment. No, it's not. It's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
So, but just transparent moment with me. Depression is real.
yes, very
Depression is
real.
real. When my wife did pass away, that thing hit like a ton of bricks. And like I said, it's been 2 months going on 3 months now, that she's been gone. But the thing is that that I had to learn that there's life beyond the grave.
Come on.
Um, so I had to actually realize that everything wasn't about me.
Yeah.
I deal with my grief because my thing is that because I still have kids I have to be strong for. But then hearing a lot of the conversations that my wife had along the way and along the journey, before she passed, and you like, when did she have all this time to talk to people? But she made her peace with a lot of people. And but thing is that grief is still real.
Yeah.
Mental
Yes.
healthness, mental health awareness is still real. Um, and there are a lot of people who deal with who deal with mental health, and we kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
Yes, we
You
do.
know,
Yeah.
um, like Meryl was saying before we went on the air, that that back in the day you didn't see a lot of people talking to themselves, talking to themselves as much as you see them now.
Right.
And when you walking out, and it's like, and they don't have an ear pod in their ear. No, they're actually literally talking to
Yeah.
themselves. And then when they start answering themselves, then that way you really know that they're going through.
I used to tell my grandmother this, my father's mother down in Tennessee. I used to say, "Can you please stop talking to yourself for me?" And she said, "I'm okay until I get to answering, so that will be okay." But one thing that I do realize for my generation, what we go through is 10 times worse. I think mental health really went on the front page for everybody, politicians, for companies, and everything during COVID, because that was the first time that the world had to stop moving. You had to go home, and you had to be in your home and be with yourself. And truly, I had a friend, and I used to tell her, so I tell her to this day, and she can admit it. She's like, I went crazy during COVID because I never knew how to just be in the house and be to myself. So we neglected ourselves for so many years that when you neglect yourself and you have to truly do an introspective look in yourself, you don't know where to begin. And so that pressure builds up on you. And I just came to tell somebody, I've been studying my Bible, and in Philippians, I found this scripture in Philippians 4, and it says, you have to truly, and this is what I got from it. It says, anxiety has no power. You know what I'm saying? You have to relinquish anxiety because he can provide you with the peace that surpass all understanding. He can give you the peace that the therapist can't give you and that the drugs that depression has cannot give you.
Right.
So it was times where I had everybody was like, I don't know, I don't want to fall. I don't want to break. I got to be strong for them. But who's going to be strong for you?
You.
You got to learn that you can't just stand. In our generation, we have the saying of you got to stand on business. Now, if you're going to stand on business, you have to make sure that somebody is standing behind you. And if you're going to stand on something, you need to check your foundation, because we can all admit that when you go to buy a house, the exterior can be perfect. The windows are what you wanted. You got the bay window, you got the reading nook, you got the bed. But if you stand on business, if you're standing on business when it comes to taking care of yourself, you have to make sure your foundation isn't cracked. I can put on a smile and make you think that I'm perfect on the inside and out. But if my foundation on the inside, where I go home with and I cry every night, is being cracked slowly but surely, you're going to see that I'm a break. So we have to make sure that we know that it's okay to take a break before you break.
Right. So for those who want to call in, the number is 708-223-8953. Again, we're addressing going through the storm, coping with mental illness without losing yourself. So again, if you all want to call in, the number is 708-223-8953. We look forward to hearing from you, because like I said, this is a deep topic that not only that we go through on a personal level, but everybody has some battles of mental health that they deal with, that they don't know, they really don't talk about.
Yeah.
So we want to basically we want to bring awareness and bring it out and bring it to the forefront, because we want to hear from you. But back into your hands.
And especially like, when you have to, like, you're the type of person that has to keep going. And that's how I dealt with me having mental health issues. Is like, I've always been the type to
Yeah.
I've always been the type to be like going. I don't know when to take a break, because I feel like if I stop, I'm no good.
Mhm.
And and my dad always tell me, like, you need to really slow your roll and like calm yourself down, because like my mind's always think about the future, like that, like always. And then I also, I battle anxiety, and I'm always like, I'm afraid of the future, so I always try to plan ahead,
Mhm.
even though it might not go that way, but I always try to have a safeguard.
So what I've learned to do with that, because like you, because I can see, get the census. You a perfectionist a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've learned is you have to be okay with not being okay. You can't determine the future. You know what I'm saying? You can do the best you can to determine it, but you can't determine your future. I mean, you can make choices to get where you want to get in your future, but you can't determine your future. But what you can do is take the small victories. You know what I'm saying? You can plan certain stuff out that takes the small victories. So for me, because I keep going, that I forget to myself, my friends have always said, Jarrell, you be so busy coached up in the adult stuff that you're doing that you forget that you still a kid and you don't do kid stuff. So what I had to start doing was I had to start planning my own excursions for me to go and take a break. And that's okay to plan to take time for yourself. People are going to get, if you die tomorrow, somebody going to replace you tomorrow.
Exactly.
So you have to
Exactly.
understand that my job gonna hire somebody else. I hate to say it, but they will. When my time goes on, somebody else is gonna step in my shoes. I will be okay, but I'm not gonna go out burnt out. I'm
So,
just not.
so Jarrell, let me ask you a question, man. Now, because I know, you see, you're no, you're in many positions. No, it's not like you have one position. No, and no, you being no, and you being in this community.
Look
You
at
know,
him.
you're a leader in the community. You know,
Bless you.
you're a
Bless
leader
you.
in your school.
Bless you.
And my thing is, man, how do you in all of no all of no all the positions that you occupy? Because because I already know Jarrell David's name is prominent in the community and it's because and
Don't
when
hype
they
me up too
man
much now.
But it's the
but it's
truth
true
though.
Yeah.
It is very true.
because when the conversation happens you see Mayor Katrina Thompson, you see Jarrell David, you know
Always.
Yeah.
so how
You
do
are right
you
hand man.
so how do you
Mhm.
as a young man, how do you cope with with your own mental health?
Um, I'm still learning. But like I said, when I got in that little incident back in the day, and Mayor Thompson had me go talk to that lady in our Bravie Police Department, one of our counselors. I said it was the greatest gift to me because what she did was she gave me the instruments to start dealing with my own stuff. I was grateful that I had friends. It was a support system for me. So, like I said, my exterior, where I'm always standing up straight, having the biggest smile on my face, shaking hands, hugging people, standing right next to my mentor, she's also taught me that, Jarrell, you know what? You need to take a break. You cannot be everything to everybody every day. My grandmother used to say, you are not God. Stop trying to play God with people. You can't fix everything they got in their life. You can't do all of that because you know what? You still have to fix you. So I can't go out here trying to fix everybody else and I'm deteriorating. I can't keep
Oof.
trying to fill everybody
Preach.
cup
Preach, preach,
and my cup
preach.
is running on empty.
Oh,
I need my cup to overflow sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But if my cup can't flow, I can't help nobody. If I don't got nothing to drink in my cup, I can't help
right.
you.
Basically, like you need to help you because if you're not established, how you gonna ever establish anybody else? Because
Huh.
even I'm going through that because like me, I'm the type of person who wants to help everybody, wants to see the good in everybody, and deep down I'm in a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm like now, like lately for the past few months, I've been taking a step back. Like I'm trying to take a break for work on me because I got issues within myself that I'm not dealing with.
Hmm.
I'm using everything else as an escape instead of just dealing with my
So,
own self.
have you ever? I tried this. I've learned it, and my friend gave me this tool of journaling some of the things that you go through.
I do, and when I do journal, I go at least 2 pages in, and I'm like, wow, I have all this
So
stuff
when
on
you
my.
journal it and you write it all out, do you then take a break and then reflect on it?
Yes, and it makes me feel like, wow, I really have a lot of stuff that I never addressed because I was always taught in life that, it happened, it's in the past, let it go, move
No.
forward
Mm-mm.
because, you know, you can't change what happened to you. But the thing is like I didn't know over these years that I was actually traumatized and that my trauma is actually making me a person that I don't want to be.
Yeah. So I want to just kill this notion really quickly in every community of the forgive and forget. You're not going to be able to forgive somebody and forget the thing that they did to you.
I promise you.
I can forgive some of the people that caused me generational harm, that caused me some issues, that caused me to feel as though nobody loved me, but I'm not going to forget the feeling that they gave me. So what we have to do then is, I don't know why this is such a thing that's frowned upon in our community, but the first thing that you need to do to cope with something is to find somebody to talk to about it. And that is why I tell people all the time, Go get a therapist. People think if you get a therapist, you're going crazy. No, I'm getting a therapist to keep me from going off on your butt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I almost said the other word, but
Right.
I'm on
I know.
intellectual radio. So I can't,
Hey.
I got in trouble a couple weeks ago for using some words. So I'm learning how to cut back on it. But you have to try to go and talk to somebody. They say it in school all the time, find a trusted adult, try to find a trusted official, somebody that you feel safe to talk to. Well, sometimes talking to yourself makes you feel safe. Sometimes writing down on your journal your day helps you feel safe. It's moments like that where you take some time to reflect on you and debrief. You can't be overstimulated and still be trying to do stuff. It's just not gonna work. So if you take some time and debrief with yourself and slow yourself down, it's like slow your roll jack for real, and then you'll be able to find those steps to continue on. Like I said, it's nothing worse than running on E. You can't.
I
You're
promise
gonna be
you.
pushing. If your car's on E, you run out of gas. You have to push your
Push.
car, and you're
Exactly.
using all your strength to push your car to the nearest gas station. And I love this. Here's my metaphor for it. Your car's on E, you pushing your car, but then you go in there, you take a break, and you look in that trunk, you got that gas tank, and it's full of gas. I'm sorry, I'm like, what is that? And it's full of gas, right? And you start pouring it in your car. That's you using your last of your last, trying to fill you up to get you to the next corner. So what you gonna do when that's gone too?
That's true. Very true.
You gotta stop trying to
And
be your
and
crutch.
it just all also been told I need an outlet, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's true. I need an outlet, but I don't know what my outlet is because any outlet I've tried, I get very bored with it very easily, and I'm on to the next.
Go to a shooting range. Oh,
My dad won't let me.
Nah.
My daddy won't let me. Trust me.
God.
My daddy won't let me. Trust me.
Or
I've actually asked him one times. He won't let me. 'Cause he know if I let me say
or if you can't go to
something.
the shooting range, they
If
have
I
rage rooms now. They have little things
I
like
want to. I like breaking things.
yeah,
I want to go to a place where I can just
a
break
rage
in
room.
and just take my anger out. We talked to a guy that's a friend of my dad's too. He has a MMA boxing
Hmm.
club that he is a GM of, and I told him that like let's go to his gym so I can and, like he has kickboxing like that. I need stuff. I like fighting, so I like hey.
Yeah,
I need to do some kickboxing like that. Get my anger out,
yeah.
please.
That
That's
that'll be
I
nice.
actually want to do that. Shout out to Christian Johnson. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
We be
Christian
hitting.
Johnson. He's the GM, no, general manager of Title Boxing in
Oh,
Elmhurst.
oh wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
and so he's another young man that you need to meet. No, definitely, no, I need for y'all to connect.
For
Okay.
real,
Most definitely.
he is
But
amazing.
Jarrell, so because now you're doing you have no you have a position at the View, and I know
I love it.
I know you do.
I
I know
love
you
it.
do.
I
I
love
know
my
I know.
job. I love
Like, look how he
I love my job. The
He
best job ever. Right
why
there
does
with me
that?
working at the Village of
Why
Broadview.
does that sound like you're straining
I,
on the
no,
side?
because I really do love it. Like I've never had a job that I loved before and this is why I knew I loved it. Because when I worked at the Village of Broadview, they prioritized me being me. They prioritized making sure that I had enough time to be a me and be a kid. But the View, it's like, look, when you go out in the world and you work other places, your job ain't gonna let you, take some time off for you. Your job ain't gonna really try to prioritize you. But what I love working at the View, my bosses prioritize me. Like they'd be like, okay, so we're gonna have you go home because first off, you're still 16. We want you to go home and finish some homework. Like, and then
Right.
and when we were talking about me coming, I was like, well, I'm still a student. I want to be able, if we're slow one day, to come in and do my homework. She said, oh, yeah, you're definitely going to do that because we got to prepare you for life
Right.
still. And so for her to just take that time, shout out to my amazing bosses, my amazing manager, Raina, who's our owner, and then my amazing manager, I call her Auntie Darnay. And what job can you call your manager Auntie, right? And so
Right.
they helped me with my mental health because, like I said, full transparent moment, I still battle with some seasons of depression. People think when you have depression it's just over. No. And
No.
let me define this really quickly. Depression is not when you just sad for a moment. Depression is not when you sad for just 2 days because your man left you. Depression is when you are seriously going through. It is defined as consecutively more than a week or more than 2 weeks of sadness because you're still going through the same thing. You are unable to be happy. It is affecting the way that you eat. It's affecting the way that you move. It's affecting your day-to-day activity. Being sad is one thing. I think it's time that we define that because everybody out here talking about they depressed. No, you're just sad. It's not a trend. I'm not going to diagnose nobody, but it's not a trend to be depressed. You know what I'm saying? And I see that a lot in our generation, but some of them are really depressed. Like nobody wants to talk about it. But sometimes we just throw these titles of what we are and claim these sicknesses and ailments of mental issues when we really don't know the definition of the mental illness. So in order to cope with it, you need to have the proper definition of what you're going through before you can say, hey, I'm going through this. Nah, girl, you just sad because old boy just dumped you yesterday. I don't think you depressed yet, baby. Let me see how you is by the next week or something. Because I mean, we was just going out this weekend. Now you depressed, but you have to be careful on how you claim things because the Bible says, and I don't want to get too biblical because last time I was on here, I no, I'm not going too Baptist, but the Bible says that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So if you continue to claim these ailments, they're going to be in the power of your tongue. Oh, well, I'm depressed. No, don't claim that yet. Oh, I'm going through this. No, don't claim that yet. I'm going through something, but I'm going to get through it because God brought me to it. So I know He's going to get me out of it. So when we going through the grieving season, Doc, I want to throw this to you because you're going through a grieving season. I'm gonna be honest. I just applaud you guys because I don't know how to do what you guys do. I don't know how you come on here. I just want to know, how do you, as the patriarch, really step up and then have to take over for the woman that you loved for countless of years, to see her go on, and it was her time to continue to still do the work that you do. Because I mean, you still got to pay the bills. The bills don't stop because you're going through.
Exactly.
But how did you cope with that?
Man, me personally, when my wife passed away, that, like I said, hit like a ton of bricks. So let me just know this. I'm gonna give you a shot of of how this thing progressed. Um, so Monday night, I had to work 16-hour shift at my job, and me and her talked throughout the day. And 11 o'clock that night, she called me and said, "Baby, thank you for taking care of me. Like any other man would have abandoned me."
Yeah.
And and that conversation was like, what?
Right.
And it's like, and I didn't think. I said, no, I'm like, baby, no, that's my job. I was honored to do it. It's like, man, you're God's gift to me. And that Tuesday, she went to dialysis. We laughed and joked. She was fine that morning, laughing and joking, nothing wrong. That after she come home from dialysis,
it just went downhill.
Everything went downhill. She went into cardiac arrest around 3:30.
Yeah, right in front of me. Like I was talking to her because like she was feeling really sick that day. I was like, please let's go get you help. She kept saying, no, no, no. I know my body. It's like, yours. I'm sitting next to her talking. She went to cardiac arrest right next to me. And I was like, and I hear the death gurgle. And I'm like, I know that gurgle. I was like, no, not now. I shouted for my dad. He was getting like he was shaving. And I was like, she stopped breathing. And we called paramedics. Nothing was working. It just everything just really just.
Yeah, so she went into cardiac arrest that
Like,
Tuesday,
I can't.
and
I can't
she never recovered.
Nope.
She went into cardiac arrest that Tuesday. She died that Thursday, and that Saturday, which was March 2nd, was her birthday. Then having to plan her funeral, and having to get my kids through that, because my kids had to continue with school, and I had to sit them down and say, "Listen, Daddy needs for y'all to focus. Mommy would have want y'all to finish this out. We got to finish strong." And then we buried my wife, and then not knowing how God worked things out, I lost my job.
Hmm.
Hmm, go figure. But God still provide.
Yeah.
He still provided, and he's still providing. And now my job wants to bring me back.
Hmm. Cast all
you
your
know
cares
that,
upon
so
him.
so I know, again, I didn't worry about it. I
Hmm.
didn't no I didn't think no I didn't think too much about it. I didn't know. My thing was my kids was my focus, because God had no and I kind of figured it was God's will.
Hmm.
Because I couldn't leave my kids at that point in time because mama's gone.
Right.
You can't leave your kids at home by themselves, and their mother just passed away, and they're constantly in the place where she took her last breath.
Yeah.
And then like I said, and then trying to, and they were asking, what really hit me, Jarrell, listen to this, man. My 17-year-old daughter came to me and said, Dad, um, we know you're trying to be strong for us, but how are you really feeling?
See.
That right there stopped me in my
Hmm.
tracks.
Yeah.
That stopped me right in my
Yeah.
tracks, and really,
Yeah.
and I had to really, think about that, because, you know, being Superman went out the door, and then, and you're talking about crying, because you have time moments when when you have that, you have to steal away that time when you can actually have that time, to have your tears, and whatever you need. And I still have my moments, because, like, man, I still got to be strong for my
Yeah.
kids. you know Watching my daughter, who helped take care of my wife, and it's like, and that was her best friend, that's her twin. And and then
Right.
my son is like, he hasn't grieved yet, because he's always finding stuff to distract him.
Hmm.
So that within itself, man, what no that's the real battle,
Right.
is when when my son breaks. you know
We gotta, and so it's important that we don't delay it. Everybody grieves in their own way.
Yes, that's
But
true.
if we keep pushing and pushing and then we break, it's going to take so much longer to rebuild. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it sure enough was destroyed in one.
Yes,
So,
that's
so
true.
some of the things that we are building towards, and some of the things that we keep going and going like everything's okay. And I'm so glad that she came to you and said, "All right, how are you really feeling?" My grandmother always told me anybody can tell you they feel good, but how are they really feeling? Anybody can
Mhm.
smile every day, but how are you really feeling? And so that's why I think it's so important to take introspective looks throughout the day, to just take a moment of silence and just truly understand what is going on in your head and what's going on throughout your day. How do I cope? I'm the superintendent roundtable president. I'm the youngest president superintendent roundtable. I just got accepted to our dual degree program to be at Triton to graduate with our associate's degree. I plan on working at the Village of Broadview again. I'm still gonna keep my job at the View. I was about to apply for a third job. How do you keep from breaking, right? You have to take the introspective look throughout the day. I deal with over 4,000 of my peers as the superintendent roundtable president. Everybody from east to west to PMSA wants something from me, wants me to go tell the superintendents to do something, but I can't be everything to everybody. I can't be strong for everybody. I can't lead everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I take all of these things and I just take a moment to breathe. My mayor always said, when you go home and you close that door, you're left with you. So you need to figure
Mhm.
you out first before you go out and deal with everybody else. She always said, them people on the streets gonna use you. But when you go at home, make sure that you're not on E because you've been dealing with them people all day. And so that's one of the things that I've learned. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I'm sure enough not gonna have my Rome destroyed in one because
Right.
I'm exhausted. And exhaustion is a part of what causes mental health issues. You can't be running on E on exhaust and you're not even trying to take a break to refill.
How do you deal with people that are toxic and negative around you? How do you deal with that?
Baby,
Because
I just had to break up with one and not
I'm not doing this with you today.
look, toxic people are going to leak into you and cause you to be toxic. Toxic people want you to argue.
I'm gonna admit that one.
Yeah, right.
No,
I
because
mean, we all
I
have a
used to be
little.
I'm a sweetheart, but I realized I became a toxic person because I allowed toxicity around me because some
Yes.
things I thought it was okay because I thought it was normal. When looking over the time, I'm like, in my family and my dad's telling me like everything I went through wasn't normal.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with the company you keep, and you have to be careful not to normalize the unnormal. Do not say it's okay that you arguing with somebody for 3 days straight and then y'all come back together, hug and kiss. That's not okay. So how I deal with toxic people, how I'm learning to deal with toxic people, and how I'm trying to deal, because I'm not there yet. I'm learning, because sometimes I still try to cuss them out in the name of, in the Holy Ghost name of Jesus. But I I do this now. I say, I hope you heal from that. And I walk away. You have to learn not to give people the energy or the time of day. If you know they toxic, I'm not about to give you the energy or the time of day to continue your toxicity in my life. I don't have the energy to do this. So you know what, baby? I hope you heal from that. You continue to go on trying to destroy somebody else's day, but I hope you heal. And
Exactly, because now I broke up with a lot of toxic people, and I became toxic myself. Now I'm like, I'm left with, well, I exited everybody else. Now I gotta fix me.
yeah,
And that's the battle I'm dealing with, is how to fix me after all the toxicity I've been around. And I'm like, how did I get to this point?
just when you just do when you're in that season and you're just continuing to do the same thing, that's like what American politics are right now. We're just okay with our former president being in a courtroom with a porn star who said that he gave her money during an election to be quiet about their affair. That's toxic, that's not normal. But for us now in America, we've decided to swallow that, and that's just Donald Trump. No, that's normal. That's not normal. That's not what a president does. But when you normalize the unnormal, you get left with some toxicity. When we normalize Donald Trump's behavior, we saw our capital, the matriarch of democracy in the Western world, get attacked. That's what happened when we normalized it. So what's going to happen is you're going to normalize this stuff, right? And all these issues are going to come attack you all at the same time. So you have to be careful on how much you're going to continue to take of the same crap. So you cannot continue to take the same thing after the same thing and then think you're going to be okay, because you're not. You're just not. I'm going to be honest. So what you have to do then is you have to take a moment and be alone. You have to go through a lonely season. You have to go through a mountaintop season. And you have to just go up there and you say, you know what? I don't know which way to go next. But through prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, I know that you're going to provide me with the peace that surpasses all understanding. I know that I'm going to be lonely for a couple months. I know I'm going to be by myself for a couple months. I know I'm going to be sleeping in a bed by myself. I know I'm going to be grieving. I know my kids ain't going to have their mama. But I know that through prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, that you are going to provide me a peace that surpasses all understanding. You have to continue to motivate yourself. You got to continue to be a motivational speaker for yourself, because ain't nobody else gonna do it but you. So what I do is I read quotes, I read scriptures, I pray, because I'm not gonna let nobody take me down, because I'm gonna just keep pushing forward to that part where it says I'm gonna get peace that surpasses all understanding. Yep,
Because you
girl.
give people the energy, guess what? You're gonna be your own downfall.
Yeah.
And I've been told that, like, you could be your biggest enemy, and I can honestly say I am my biggest enemy, and I'm learning day by day.
You're not by
Slowly.
yourself. Me too.
Like, I swear, because like me, I'm hard headed. I don't like to listen.
I'm right there with you.
And I and
I'm
I'm to the
right
point
there
that, like,
with
yeah,
you.
I do the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. Because, like,
Oh, that's the
some days
definition of insanity.
some
That's the
days,
definition of
some days
insanity.
I'm good. Some days I'm like, okay, I'm cool.
Right.
But then I go right back to the same stuff I be
See?
doing. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
you know what? I keep failing this test. I'm like, what am I doing
A lesson,
wrong?
a lesson unlearned is, you're gonna have to relearn that lesson in the
I
first
swear,
place.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong? That I keep failing this test, and that's what I'm trying to learn, like how to not fail this test that keeps happening.
Pastor Wiley always told me, he said, man,
Ooh,
he
that's a
said,
bad boy.
so he always told me,
That's a bad man. I love me.
he always told me, he said, man, if you like getting what you're getting, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
He said, you can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. He said, and one day, no, he's man, he keeps saying, man, that is no, that is now that if you want to know, you want to change your mind, you got to get to your heart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I mean, so he's a man. It's not a head problem. It's a heart problem. And so man, my thing, if you can get to the heart of the matter, you can get no, you can always get to your
Right.
head. So
Right.
my thing is, we deal with mental health awareness. I mean, mental health all the time, man. I mean, and we battle no, and there's a lot of stuff that we battle is no. Sometimes it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is really
Self
self-inflicted.
sabotaging
And,
yourself.
like man, my thing is, you keep shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. You ain't gonna be able to
Man,
walk.
like man, why you keep shooting and you keep
Well,
beating
you
your head
have to
against that brick wall.
you have to first identify that. You know what I'm saying? You have to first say, look, I'm getting the same thing at the same thing. What am I doing wrong? And that's where that when you guys asked me to come on, I was up studying. I was like, ooh, mental health. I called my friend. I said, girl, what we supposed to say about this, son? I don't know what to say. But then I just said, well, I gotta give my own life experience, when in regards to me and my mental health. I had to really slow it down and start looking at me and looking at the heart of the matter with people. I allow people to walk over me because I was supposed to be Mr. President. I was supposed to be Mr. Professional all the time. And I used to think, okay, I can't check you because I'm gonna get in trouble. I can't do that. But I've learned that I have to check people professionally to continue to move on in my life so that they know that there are boundaries that you can't cross with me to attack me in my mental health. That's one thing. In order to cope with mental health, you have to set up your boundaries to protect your mental health. You have to set up a boundary that protects your peace. I can't allow you to cross that boundary because you know what, baby? That's my mental health on the line. That's me on the line. I'm not going to allow you to cuss me out. That's cut it out. I'm finna walk away. I had a girl that threw milk on me.
Oh,
Oh no.
see,
Whoo,
Lord
Jesus.
Jesus.
Whoo, that was a boundary, right? But I had to walk away because, right.
The old me
Right, but
would have grabbed my milk and threw it right
exactly.
back at her.
But I had to
I
understand
said,
that
"That's the old me, y'all."
she wasn't healed. You know what I'm saying? I knew her personally. She was still going through her own issues. So I can't attack somebody that hasn't healed themselves. So that's why I said when you get these toxic people, you have this energy, you have to set up a boundary with them. Baby, you ain't gonna get 30 minutes of my time to argue and then throw another carton of milk at me. What we gonna do is I'm just not gonna give you that time of day or that energy, and I'm gonna keep it pushing good looking. Okay. You have to understand that I don't care how fine a person is. I don't care. My grandma always says it was always a devil underneath that slip. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful what you looking at because the same people that you looking at for love could be the same people that destroys your own. The same people that you want to love you can be the same people that destroys your own. And we, at all costs, I'm protecting my own. I'm protecting what I'm building. I'm protecting the village of Broadview because I know that the village of Broadview is mine next. So you're not about to come attack me. Then that's going to attack how I'm going to lead the village of Broadview. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to think about those things in the future. You're not going to attack me because I got stuff I'm planning back there that you can't get to. So my Rome has to be protected at all costs. And what is my Rome? My Rome is my mental fitness. My Rome is my mental health. My Rome also is my plans for the future. You're not going to dictate something that's going to make me have a bad decision that ruins what I have planned for me or what he has planned for me. So you're going to go through these tests. But if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to have to go through the lesson again. So maybe you praying the wrong thing. Maybe you saying, what am I doing wrong? Maybe you need to say, God, show me what I need to do right. Maybe you need to say, God, show me the heart of this. Show me what I'm supposed to be learning. You need to just take a moment to self-reflect and really try to stand on that business that we were talking about and find the foundation because your foundation was broken. Let's just be honest. The foundation was broken a little bit when you lost the matriarch, right? The foundation was just demolished. But you have to learn how to slowly rebuild back. And you need to start making those small tabs of progress. You need to have small achievements. Okay, look, I woke up this morning. Let me give myself a pat on my back. I did this. Let me give myself a pat on the back. Stop trying to rebuild Rome in a day. Don't do it. Rome wasn't built in a day. Stop trying to rebuild your Rome in a day. Stop trying to rebuild the family in a day. It's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is you guys are going to slowly rebuild together. And you have to understand that. So I'm telling you this because I know that you going through it the most.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna take away from you,
No, no,
Doc,
no.
but I don't want to take away from your siblings. But I know that you've articulated to me, because a closed mouth doesn't get fed. That's how we have to cope with mental health. If
Yeah.
we don't know that you're going through, you can't expect somebody to give you grace because you're going through. But you have to figure out how to slowly rebuild, and you have to articulate, Dad, I need a break. I can't go stepping today. I gotta go take a break. My feet hurt, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to just parenthetically pause and digress. I can't do it today. I just can't do that today because I did this and I met my goal. I completed those 3 tests. I went through her stuff. I took 30 minutes. I reflected. I wrote in my journal. I'm done. I need to take an hour break. I need to go do something else. That's some things that you have to do to protect your mental health. That goes with setting that boundary. You know what? And you were talking about that work-life balance. I don't have one. I do the view
I
work
don't
at
have
school.
one either.
But you know what?
I
That's
don't.
not protecting our own though. You get what I'm saying? We have to start setting that balance. Look, okay, from 9 to 5, I'm doing this, and then from 5 to 10, I'm doing this, and then from 10, I'm sleep. And like on my phone, it's set up. Instagram is to go off at 8 o'clock. I'm supposed to be in the shower by 9 o'clock. I'm on the phone with my friend to about 9:30, 10:30. I'm making my calls. I'm reading emails from the View from 10:30 to 11. By 11 o'clock, my homework and everything should be done, and I'm going to bed by 12. That's my day, and I start back over at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning if I'm up for school on time.
Right.
Because Linda Lou gonna be in them comments. You
I
late
t-
every day, but hey,
Yeah, because me is like I work till like 3 to 11 every night, but then my body doesn't crash till like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
right.
And I'm like, what in the world? And now like our hours are picking up because we're a lack of management. So now I have to pick up more hours and I'm exhausted. I'm like
Do you
everything that
have
because
to
complete
pick up
things
more
I plan
hours, or do you think you have to pick up
it's
more
because
hours?
my boss is depending on me and another manager because there's only two of us now. So basically, we all have to share the burden. And
Right.
now I'm like, okay, but I had stuff I had planned for myself, and now I'm like, everything that I kind of have
But that
scheduled for
goes
me went out
right.
the window, and I'm like, can I do keep going like this?
You can.
And I
You
know I
can.
can't, but I just like I don't know how to say
No.
no.
No, my
I
grandmother
don't know.
used to say it like this:
Yeah.
no is a complete sentence. So when I tell my job no, you're not gonna ask me, well, why not? No is a complete answer. I don't have to give you a reason. So you have to understand that you can't keep going. You can't keep going like that. So stop stressing yourself so thin, because you know what? It might be a lack of management, but a good leader, a good boss, and a good manager is gonna get in the ground with you. So your boss, if they know that you going through what you going through, baby, you know what? Go home. Don't stay here at 11. You got a daughter at home. I ain't finna stress you out. Just go home, because you know what? I'm gonna get in the ground
I
with
know,
you.
'cause, like she's a mom, I'm a mom, and then we like it's like three of us. Like she just took like it just like everything changed hands within three
Right.
months. So now we're going through a whole reboot.
Right.
Yolanda, this young man. No, so you're asking who is this young man? This young man here, his name is Jarrell David.
How you doing, Miss Yolanda?
Hey,
Yeah,
Miss
this yeah.
Yolanda.
So he's our community leader.
Oh no.
He's a community leader. He doesn't want to. No, he doesn't want to. No, he doesn't want. He doesn't
I'm a
want.
little humble with you.
No, he's humble. No, he's very humble. Like I said, he's a young man who's wise beyond his years, who's very wise beyond his years. And reason why no, he's been on the show with us once before, and we brought him back on because
Three, twice.
he can because he actually has some insight on some things that that some of us adults don't have insight on. Because he helps us to understand um how it is because he gives us the real, and he also gives us the spiritual. So, man, if y'all know, man, follow this young man, Jarrell David. No, man, I'm telling you, man, no, he is a blessing. I'm telling you, now, he blesses me, even though I'm older than him. He's blessing me. So,
Bless you, bless you. Y'all
Yes.
bless me.
Yes,
Uh,
you are a big blessing.
Aria just showed me something.
My friend Shy is
She said something that's so true. If you ain't good for you, then you ain't good for nobody.
Amen.
Stop being good for people that ain't good for you. Stop allowing yourself to be good for people that ain't good for you. So you have to. I keep telling y'all got to stand on business. I'm in a deep study right now. I'm like in the word, and Job said it like this: Though he slay me, yet I trust in him. Though I'm gonna go through these trials and tribulations, though I'm gonna go through these things, though my mental health is gonna be under attack, though the enemy is gonna attack me, I'm gonna be go back to Matthew 16 and 18, where Jesus said, "On this rock is where I build my church. On this principle, I'm going to be good for me. I'm going to stand on the rock, for which cometh my help. And when I stand on this rock isn't gonna break." Now, what I advise people that's listening, you need to make sure that you're standing on the rock and not a pebble. Because
Mm.
because if you standing on the rock, then your rock shouldn't be shaky. If you stand on your rock, then you're gonna be okay. But sometimes what we do is we stand on these metaphorical and proverbial pedals. When you stand on the pebble, it's gonna break. A rock is firm. When you go look at Lion King, my favorite Disney movie, the lions go up on Pride Rock. That's where the royalty is. That's where the lions go. And the king Simba roars on Pride Rock.
Yes.
Pride Rock cannot be moved. Pride Rock is where they stand. Pride Rock is on higher land. So that means that when I'm on Pride Rock and I'm looking over all of the things that I've done, all of the work that I've done, I'm going to stand here because I ain't been building on pebbles. What are pebbles? Proverbial pebbles are when you start building on little things that you know ain't truthful. When you start saying, you know what, I must keep feeding into messy old girl over here, knowing that she gonna cause you toxicity, but you all healthy in life. So you do things in your life when you set up these proverbial pebbles and make you fall and falter, and you set yourself up. I call it we say self-sabotage, but you're trying to commit self-homicide. You're trying to kill yourself in a sense, proverbially. Now, don't do it now. Proverbially.
Yes.
But when you do that, because don't be going on here like they be doing people. Don't get my look cut and say, I said proverbially. Don't be going out here telling, feeding into these toxic people. Then you say, I'm holistically whole. No, you're not. You got to stop painting the self-image. Be real. Somebody came to me at school today and said, Jarrell, you don't got no filter. I said, well, if I had a filter, I wouldn't be real, would I?
Amen.
So if I had a filter, I'd be lying to you. I said, don't you want me to lie to you? You want me to be real with you?
That's what my dad said. He's like, you want me to lie to you? You want me to tell you the truth?
Exactly. So stop. I need somebody. My way to cope with mental health is for us to stand on business. Now, I didn't gave you the principles of standing on business. But the thing is, are you going to stand on business? Are you going to let Lil John come back in your life after he done cheated with you with your girl Michelle across the street? Or are you going to stand on business and you say, you know what? I'm going through my lonely season. I'm going to go be okay. I'm going to be fine by myself because I first have to understand me. You talked about going through toxic relationships.
Yeah, because I just had a ex friend to hit me up today, and we perfect time like saying like she wanted our friendship back, but me and her said around like I don't want this friendship right now because our friendship was toxic. The way we communicate is not the best, and just right now I need to work on me. I have now lost respect or love for you, but I need to work on me.
And let me just say this: it's nothing wrong with cutting people off. It's
And
nothing
sometimes
wrong.
I don't like cutting people off, but now
No.
I've learned that I need to
You
be
have
for the
to.
sake of myself.
Let me say this: day ones are great, right? Day
Mhm.
ones are the ones that was in the mud with you. Y'all was in the sandbox. But I need the day two people. This is why I love my day ones. I'm still young, so my day ones we going through the same thing sometimes.
Right.
But my day twos are like this. Your day ones, they saw you. They remember when you wasn't nothing. I mean, they remember before you got the money, before you got the fame, before you got all that. But your day twos are the people that you met while you were competing for the success.
Right.
Your day twos are going to be the ones that keep pushing you and motivating you. I ain't saying some of y'all day ones are doing that, but sometimes your day ones remember too much of your past that they can't see your future.
Swear.
Woo, that was good.
That was good.
That was good to me. Some of our day ones remember too much of our past to see our future. And so in order to continue on and standing on our business and protecting our mental health, we have to understand that our friends since preschool ain't gonna be the most healthy friend for us to have in the season. So I can't be with my day one right now. I gotta be with my day two because my day two gonna work it out with me. Because my day two sees the White House. My day one still too busy looking at Linda. I need somebody that's gonna look ahead with me. I mean, we started from the bottom, but baby, I need to get to here tomorrow. So you have to start looking at your proverb. What are you gonna stand on today? You can't stand on your day one friendships because your day one friendships are gonna be just as toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't have no day one friendships no more because I had to learn that things you grow apart.
Yeah, you
And if
will.
you want to get to where you need to go, then you just gotta. It's best to cut them off and keep moving forward. Yes, me, I'm the type of person that loves everybody, but my dad has instilled in me like everybody can't go where I'm going,
Hello.
and that
Hello.
and you need to be surround yourself with people that see the potential in you
That's
and
true.
stick around those people.
That's true.
Yeah, but I know we got to get ready to wind this thing up. Let me ask you a question, bro.
Mhm.
So if we were to do a part two on next week, could you be here?
You see, I ain't gonna put me on air. Oh, Doc, I'll be here. Oh, I'll be here.
Oh,
I will
yeah,
be
oh,
here.
No,
he
no,
got-
we know, cause we need to do a part two. Cause
We
man,
need to
so
do a
man,
part
cause
two
this
of this.
man, cause man, this thing is getting so good that we can't keep it going.
Need
Cause
part
our time
two.
is winding up. So man, we want to do a part two on next week and of the same topic. And
I'll
I
be
man, now
here.
man, I want you to man, cause man, you
Man.
know, people loving you, man. The
I
people
swear.
loving
I
you.
swear,
God bless.
my friend just said, "Wait, he preached. I'm gonna throw him from inside praise break." She said, "He's the inside praise break."
Well, because people do this a lot, where they like, "Well, you're 16. How do you know this? How do you do that?" And
You
let
are
me just say
wise.
this: age does not dictate. I watch a lot of Tyler Perry. Y'all don't be mad at me, but
Ain't nothing
Tyler
wrong with that.
Perry, Medea said this. She says sometimes the trauma that somebody goes through grows them up so much faster than what their age looks like. So you have to understand, and I tell this to parents, I'm gonna say this again. Stop telling your child that you're not going through nothing, you just sad. If your child is consistently sad, if your child is consistently going through the same thing, if your child is consistently locking themselves in a room, going into a dark place, and you hear the crying and weeping at night, you need to parenthetically pause and digress with whatever you got going on in your life. Because I came to speak to my generation, because we have to articulate to your generation, to the millennials, and to the
Yeah, thank
grandparents.
you.
I got your back, boo. Not
Thank you.
and so you gotta articulate. I'm going through. We have to stop in our community, especially. We used to make fun of white folk for going to therapists. No shame to our white brothers and sisters. Love y'all. I love it all. I still go to Starbucks. No, I'm just kidding. But we have to really show up and say, I'm going through it. I need help. Can you help me? Stop trying to fix everything by yourself.
Right. Yeah, but like I said, but man, we got to go ahead and wind this show up, man. Like I said, but everybody, please tune in on next week. This is gonna be part two. Brother Jarrell Davis gonna be here, and
Bless
no,
you.
and he's
Yes,
he's
part
gonna help
two,
us for
y'all.
part two. So man, so we're gonna sign off from here from our podcast with Colossal, man. Again, thanks to Brother Jarrell Davis
Bless you.
for
Bless you.
coming on the
Bless you.
show.
Thanks be
Thank
unto
again
God.
for Intellectual Radio for giving us this platform
Thank
and this
you.
opportunity to talk about mental health awareness. So man, we're gonna see y'all on next week, man. And
Yes.
until next week, y'all take care of each
Everybody.
other. Peace.
Bless
Fear shifts and yokes are destroyed off of you. And what will you say? My God, I will.